20 harmful effects of caffeine based on study. Did you know? The harmful effects of caffeine are sometimes harder to find information on than all of the reported positives. Here are a few of the studies that concluded that caffeine could be potentially dangerous to one's health. Research showing harmful effects of caffeine. Number 1. More than 4 cups of coffee linked to early death. A Mayo Clinic partnered study found that men who drank more than 4 8 cups of coffee had a 21% increase in all-cause mortality. However, those that reported that they consumed excessive amounts of caffeine were also likely to smoke and have poor fitness. Dr. Nancy Snyderman from NBC said there were a few discrepancies with the study, but stresses that moderation is still key. See her interview here. Another study showed that those who consume 6+ coffees per day have a greater risk of developing heart disease. Number 2. Caffeine consumption may raise blood pressure, especially in those already suffering from hypertension and those who don't normally consume caffeine. People with hypertension were given 250 mg of caffeine, about 2 coffees, and the data revealed that their blood pressure was elevated for about 2 to 3 hours after the caffeine SRC. A second study performed by the Mayo Clinic found similar results from the 160 mg dose. All participants experienced a marked rise in blood pressure, and it was the most pronounced in those that didn't normally consume caffeine SRC. Number 3. Increased risk of heart attacks among young adults. A study conducted by Dr. Lucille Moss found that young adults who were diagnosed with mild hypertension had 4 times the risk of having a heart attack if they consumed the amount of caffeine equivalent to 4 cups of coffee. More moderate consumption showed 3 times the risk. Number 4. Caffeine linked to gout attacks. This study showed that people who consume caffeinated beverages increased their risk for a gout flare-up. Number 5. Breast tissue cysts in women. One study showed that women who consumed 31 to 250 mg of caffeine/day had a 1.5-fold increase in the odds of developing fibrocystic breast disease, and women who drank over 500 mg/day had a 2.3-fold increase in the odds of developing cysts. Number 6. Caffeine could cause incontinence. A study out of the University of Alabama showed that women who consume a lot of caffeine are 70% more likely to develop incontinence. Number 7. Caffeine may cause insomnia. Caffeine in a person's system at bedtime can mimic the symptoms of insomnia. Number 8. Caffeine can cause indigestion. People who consume caffeinated beverages often report an upset stomach or indigestion. This mainly occurs when the beverages are consumed on an empty stomach. Number 9. Caffeine can cause headaches. While occasional doses of caffeine can relieve headache symptoms, the overuse of caffeine can cause headaches and lead to migraines. Number 10. Caffeine and miscarriage risk. In a recent study, both men and women who consumed at least 2 caffeinated beverages a day during the weeks prior to conception slightly increased the risks of a miscarriage. Before we go to next number, subscribe first to our YouTube channel and click the notification bell to be updated on our videos every day. Thanks. Number 11. Caffeine could reduce fertility in women. A study from the University of Nevada School of Medicine showed that caffeine can reduce a woman's chances of becoming pregnant by about 27%. Number 12. Caffeine may not be healthy for type 2 diabetics. A study conducted by the American Diabetes Association showed that caffeine impaired glucose metabolism in those with type 2 diabetes. Number 13. Caffeine overdose. While overdose is rare, it can lead to many adverse symptoms including death, especially in those with underlying medical conditions. Some have a lower tolerance for caffeine than others. Number 14. Caffeine allergies. Some people have oversensitivity to the caffeine molecule, which causes allergic-like reactions in the body such as hives and pain. Although not a true allergy, many report very negative symptoms after consuming even the smallest amounts. Number 15. Caffeine causes more forceful heart contractions. A recent study showed that immediately after energy drink consumption the heart produced more forceful contractions. It is unclear if this has any long-term health implications except for those with known health conditions. Number 16. Worst menopause symptoms. A recent study published in the Journal of the North American Menopause Society showed that menopausal women who consumed caffeine had a greater degree of vasomotor symptoms. Number 17. Caffeine inhibits collagen production in the skin. This effect is dose-dependent, but really heavy caffeine consumers should be aware. Number 18. Caffeine does not help with prolonged sleep deprivation. This can lead to a false sense of security for those that have been sleep-deprived for multiple days in a row and choose to get behind a wheel or do some other focus-required task, thinking that, as long as they have caffeine, they'll be able to perform. Researchers from the American Academy of Sleep Medicine came to this conclusion after studying caffeine's effects on their sleep-deprived test subjects. Number 19. Caffeine may impair hearing loss recovery. For guinea pigs exposed to excessive levels of noise, caffeine was shown to delay the rate at which the guinea pigs recovered from noise-induced hearing loss. A correlation to humans is believed to exist, but more research will be needed. Number 20. Caffeine consumption can lead to increased anxiety, depression and the need for anxiety medication. A well-conducted study, published in 2003 which was a joint project in part by the Department of Psychiatry, the University of Chicago and the Department of Psychiatry, University of Munster, Germany found that genetic differences in people's adenosine receptors were likely responsible for caffeine-induced anxiety. Do you have any ideas or information about this topic? Let us know and share it with us. Comment it down below and continue to watch and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thanks.